Don't let Beatrix slide under your attacks. After this video, you will know exactly how to counter her best special. Beatrix players use her slide, aka down special or riding free, as a neutral skip that can go under strikes and projectiles that don't hit low enough. And it's honestly surprising how many moves can get evaded this way. Even your dash light will get ducked under. And the move looks like it was ripped straight from Guilty Gear, but the devs added a little bit of that Granblue spice to it, since it has a follow-up on the normal versions that works even if the move whiffs. Not to mention that riding free converts into even better combos in the corner or on a counter hit. Before you even see it in the neutral, you need to change your play. Go easy on the moves that she can abuse, especially if it has high recovery. Make sure to walk short distances and low block to increase your chances of blocking it. But characters with a low hitting projectile that cannot be crossed over make this slide a little irrelevant though. So if you really hate Beatrix, pick a top tier like Siegfried or Anita. You can expect to get checked by the light version from around 1.5 Colosseum tiles away. Medium's range is almost 3 tiles, while the heavy version's range is close to 2 tiles. And don't forget that the ultimate version increases the range up to 3 tiles, so projectile spam gets a little safer if you're 3 tiles away. Look out for Beatrix sliding close to the ground to catch its startup. Starting off with light riding free. It has a semi-reactable 18 frame startup. Medium starts up in 28 frames. That's not that bad on your reactions, but heavy pumps it up to an unreactable 11 frames, since it can hit you during the slide with the ripples now, but if you're further away, it can go up to an 18 frame startup. Ultimate is a similar story, where it's 12 frames at its closest, but 20 at a distance. The meterless version start their high attack evasion, aka low profile, around frame 11, while Ultimate starts it at frame 6. But this always ends when Beatrix stands up for the strike, making a whiff punish possible. The startup and distance make it hard for the meterless versions to punish stuff on reaction, but the Ultimate down special is good at tearing through high hitting moves on reaction. So watch out when she has 50% meter. The greater the distance between you and Beatrix, the easier it becomes to react to the slide. So if you play around a 2 tile distance, Beatrix will become easier to manage, since the faster, light and heavy versions will be out of range, letting you get a whiff punish on a failed attempt. But all versions are prime targets to punish on whiff. For example, 40 total frames on light riding free and 42 total frames on the heavy version make this doable with a far heavy. But what about the follow-ups on whiff? Well, they don't matter if your reactions are on point. For example, her light down special with the follow-up starts up in 35 frames, and on heavy it's 32 frames, giving you enough time to whiff punish with something like a far heavy or dash light and a frame 20 reaction. And even if you fail, you're not going to take that much damage. Also, the follow-up has the strength of a dash heavy, so it crushes anything weaker like standing heavies, and the ultimate version cannot cancel into the follow-up on whiff, making it easier to punish when it misses its mark. As usual, a great option to react with is frame 1 invincibility, armor or parries, but the light and heavy versions don't make this easier, since you only have 18 frames at best to react to those. Dodge doesn't work against the meterless versions, because you will be minus or just enough for them to punish the dodge. But when you're up against the ultimate version that slows down the frames, a frame 20 spot dodge sets you up to be around +5 in their face. Close light in this scenario could act as a punish combo starter, or a plus and block strike and a slower reaction. Since Beatrix probably ends up right beside you, you can punish with a throw instead, and this is a little easier on your reactions. In the heat of the moment, it's hard to tell whether she's using the medium or light version. Although the startup of the reactable medium is 10 frames slower, the animation is the same. But you could use the fact that medium outranges light to your advantage. Once you're 2 tiles away, it's better to risk reacting with a crouching light against a slide that doesn't glow yellow or blue, since only the medium could reach you at that range. Voice lines are another tell. In English, she says, "Over here, watch this, let's do this," and nothing sometimes. In Japanese, I'll just make the clip roll. And don't be afraid to practice against this move in training mode to really get the hang of playing against it. Don't be fooled into thinking that it's always safe or plus on block. The light version is actually -4 on block. It's safe, but make sure to make use of their disadvantage to play around taking your turn back. But the medium version is the one that you should really respect, since it's +2 on block. The only one that's actually plus on block. You could use the voice line trick from earlier to tell what you blocked. And if it's the medium, it's not a bad call to collect your guaranteed brave counter punish, if you're quick enough. On the other hand, heavy down special is -6 on block, making it punishable with a far light, or if you're close enough, a crouching light. Doing a follow-up creates a true block string, so they cannot frame trap and punish you for pressing on block. And if Beatrix players ever made the mistake of doing this, she's -12 and extremely punishable. So strike back with a heavy or a dash light combo starter. The ultimate version is minus on block, like the light, and the follow-up goes off automatically. But try not to block this, since it does crazy chip damage. More damage than actually getting hit by your average fireball. Here's an interesting situation. Using crouching attacks in the neutral raises your chances against slide abusers. A quick crouching light from time to time, or when you feel like they're going to approach, could hit the light and medium slide out of their startup. You could even do this into a standing light, then hit confirm it for more damage. And doing this represents a chance of randomly countering it, and forward advancing moves like dash light to the enemy Beatrix as well, making them less likely to go for these moves. Sadly, this strategy doesn't work against the heavy and ultimate versions, since they are able to crush crouching lights with their ripples. You can adjust to heavy slides by using crouching mediums instead, since they have more power than the lights. Although based on your character, it could crush or clash with the heavy slide. But the crouching medium is still likely to leave you more vulnerable due to the higher startup and recovery. Belial's crouching medium seems great in this case, because it's only 20 total frames, while his crouching light is only 1 frame less. The ultimate version is a whole other problem though. All hits of it crush anything weaker than a dash heavy, and not a lot of dash heavies hit low enough to actually hit it. Some outliers are Catalina's and Anila's dash H. Remember to use something invincible after clashing with the ripples on the heavy or ult version, or the strike on the ult version, because the special move still hasn't ended at this point. Also, the standing hit at the end of the meterless versions clash with heavies. Here's yet another issue. She can go under your high hitting attacks with the slide, or go over your low hitting attacks with her dive kick special. But I will cover exactly how to beat that in a future video, so subscribe to see that as soon as it comes out. Also, here's what's important to know for when you eventually get hit by it. Without the follow-up, light slide puts both players at +0 and within striking range, so it's a free for all. On heavy without the follow up, she can get a safe jump against 9 frame or slower reversals at plus 37 on the fastest recovery. So you have to hope that a backwards recovery will put you far enough to get out. On the ultimate version, she can get a proper safe jump after whiffing crouch light, then super jumping. The cooldowns are basically non-existent for light and medium, but when heavy or ultimate are used and Beatrix doesn't have enough meter, play around it being down for 7 seconds. Do you want to see more fighting game videos that will level up your play? Then don't hesitate to subscribe.